I'm Jason with the All Things Open team. We're here with David. Welcome to the We Love Open Source studio. We're going to talk about Linux for SysAdmins, open source trends, and more. Welcome, David. Please introduce yourself to the All Things Open community.
Thanks, Jason. I'm really glad to be here. I was born in 1946, and I grew up in the 1950s, and I was the kid that was fixing everybody's TVs on the block. And in school, I was the kid with the slide rule and the physics book under my arm. I've been working with computers since 1969. I worked for IBM for 21 years. I even worked for Red Hat for a little while. And I've been working with open source and Linux since 1996. So it's been a while.
Wow. All right. Well, we're going to try to extract some of that good information out of your brain there. You're the author of the Linux philosophy for SysAdmins. Congrats. Where did the inspiration come from, and why should SysAdmins get excited?
Well, one of the things I'm interested in is the history of Unix and Linux, and there were a couple of interesting books that I read. One was by Mike Gancar's Linux and the Unix Philosophy, and Eric Raymond, The Art of Unix Programming, and those books affected me in how I did my work as a sysadmin, but they were intended originally for developers. And so there were a lot of things in there that didn't apply directly to system administrators. And I decided that system administrators like myself, we needed our own philosophy. And so I took a lot of the gems that the mentors that I had as I came up through the Linux ranks, and I put those down and started a book. And it was here in 2017, I think, that I met up with an editor from A Press and told her I had a book for her, and she said, "Oh boy," and I was off and running.
Great story. All right, we're going to get into some really interesting questions here. There is no such thing as AI yet, is one of your quotes. What do you mean by that? And do you have a standard for AI? Let's get into it.
I mean that there's really no such thing as AI. What we have right now is it's really good programming, and it can do some interesting things, but there is no soul to it. There is no creativity. It has no ability to determine right versus wrong, or any of the kinds of things that we think of as a human intelligence might do. But I do have a standard, and if you have ever seen the 1956 movie, let's see, it's Robbie the Robot.
Yep.
Robbie the Robot, and this was in Forbidden Planet, and it was before Robbie got sold off to the TV producers, where they made a bozo out of him. But Robbie was able to speak a large number of languages. He had the ability to make crucial decisions, ethical decisions, and because of that, I feel like he is really kind of the touchstone that we need to have as we move forward into what eventually could be a true artificial intelligence. We are not there yet, but Robbie the Robot is what I look to as the guiding light in this environment.
All right. I feel like Robbie was like a human inside of a cardboard box, but we'll just go with that. I love the standard. I want to focus outside of artificial intelligence. What other existing or emerging technology should we be talking about and be looking into?
Electric vehicles, EVs. And it's not because they're full of computers. It's because of the battery technology that needs to be developed in order to make them really viable in pretty much all kinds of environments. And I've just read something about sodium-ion batteries, and they are interesting because lithium-ion, we've had lithium-ion batteries for a long time, and they do have some issues. but they're the best we've had because their energy density is high enough to make it reasonable. But with sodium-ion batteries, you have a sodium that is a very abundant element. Okay, it's easy to find. It's everywhere. There aren't any other countries that can shut down mining of sodium because it's going to because they want some political advantage or something. Right. And so, as a result, I think that will make batteries cheaper. I think the energy density from sodium will be far greater than that of lithium-ion batteries. And I think that's going to have a major impact on what we see in our devices.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Shifting gears really quick, what's a trend or a change, good or bad, that you've seen in open source and maybe concerned or excited about?
Well, I don't think it's directly open source. I think it will affect open source, but I think it's the fact that arts are not part of the STEM program. You see things, science, technology, engineering, and what's the math?
Mathematics,
thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, my aphasia is showing, but I think it should be STEAM, and that's because as that geek in high school, I actually stumbled into a. It was actually a tryout for a stage play, the junior play, and I got one of the lead roles. And I was just totally oblivious, I just kind of looked at it and said, okay, let's just read this. And, it was kind of a lark. But I got an opportunity out of that to learn how to stand up and talk to people. I was able to learn how to face a crowd and not get nervous about it and just deal with, whatever I needed to say. So, and I think the arts are important in design. I think if a piece of hardware or a piece of software can be looked at and you can easily discern its flow of energy and purpose, I think you have an elegance in that design then. And I think that's really, really important.
Cool. I love it. Creative outlets for the win. What's a tip, best practice, or career advice you could share with the All Things Open community?
Have fun. I think the important thing to me has been that I've been having fun with it. And I think that part of that fun is seeing and enjoying the beauty of it. There's a computer science professor, David Galerntner.
Say that 3 times more.
Yeah, his name is hard to pronounce. But he wrote a little book called Machine Beauty, Elegance at the Heart of Technology. And this is my favorite quote. It says, "Beauty is more important in computing than anywhere else in technology because software is so complicated. Beauty is the ultimate defense against complexity." And I think the things that we are trying to do that we call AI today are overly complex. They're not simple. They're not beautiful. They're not the kinds of things that I would look to and say, this is a really good thing. If you can't understand it, you can't fix it.
Got it. Well, we're going to have some fun right now. We're going to just get right into it. Are you ready for the Hotfix Minute, David?
Yeah, okay.
All right, here we go. I think I know some of your answers, but we're just going to go through them anyway because It's going to be fun. Linux, Mac, or Windows?
Oh, Linux, yeah.
Books, movies, or podcasts?
Books.
Pizza, salad, or tacos?
Salad.
Rock, country, or hip-hop?
Rock.
Star Wars, Star Trek, or stargazing?
Star Trek.
Android or iPhone?
Android.
This will be your toughest one. Chat, GPT, Claude, or Gemini?
None of them.
The future of AI is helper bots or robot takeover?
Robot takeover.
Robbie for the win. Thanks, David. This was so much fun. I really appreciate your time today.
Thanks, Jason. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you.